Hello, YouTube. How y'all doing? Today, we will be discussing Trump. This is Life Under Trump, part 132. It's a lot to be covered because, it was Trump's 101st days. He has done interviews and they were a flop. He claiming people to be MS-13 when they are not. They talked about the tariffs, the stock market crashing. And Donald Trump has been in office now 100 days. Today make 101. And still to this day, he is blaming President Joe Biden for all of this that he has caused. All of this. From the immigrants to the stock market crashing, the terrorists, everything is President Joe Biden's fault. That's what Donald Trump keep letting come out of his mouth. His interview flopped so bad. He needs to be impeached like right now. Yesterday, day one, January 20th, he shouldn't even been able to go into Oval Office. That's how bad it is. Again, this is Life Under Trump, part 132. Yes, we are 132. Hello, Queen Victorious One. Hello, King Alan. How you doing? Let me take a sip of water. We have lost so many allies that it is not funny. America is looking really bad under Donald Trump. Again, Donald Trump continues to blame President Joe Biden. You've been in office 100 days. You did not improve the American citizens' lives. Donald Trump, you actually have destroyed a lot of our lives. Innocent people have been held in hostage, kidnapped, and have been taken to El Salvador, sold to El Salvador prison. And because of your judgment and what you have done, you have destroyed families. You have now 2 children with cancer. You have had them kidnapped and taken away from their families. When I tell you, when Donald Trump, when God get through with your ass, you have taken now 2 children with cancer and had them taken away from their families. When God get through with you, Donald Trump, because I watched that interview. When he get through with your monkey ass, we're going to sit back and laugh at you. We're already laughing at you. You are the worst person in the entire world. You sit right there holding hands with Satan. And to let someone say that he needs to be the next pope, he should not even be president. Y'all have said the most disgusting things to uplift a buffoon in that White House. Y'all said he should be Jesus. Y'all said he should be the next pope. Have you lost your MF minds? This man can even, Jesus don't even hear him. This man doesn't even pray to Jesus. He was asked in an interview before, have you ever went to God about anything? And he was like, for what? Why? No, I don't recall I have. And that's who y'all put in the White House. Y'all put the biggest sinner in the entire world that has ever been in this world in the Oval Office. 100 days, he destroyed America. He didn't do anything to uplift the American people. Well, but what Donnie Boy did, he enriched the pockets of billionaires, people who are already filthy rich, and left the American people in squanders, trying to figure out life. He said in that interview and lied and said the gas price is cheaper, food is cheaper. And he even said, so, because of that, I didn't lie to them. I told them what I was going to do, but you didn't tell them you was doing Project 2025. You specifically lied and said you knew nothing about Project 2025. And right now, in your 100 days, you have implemented Project 2025. You are destroying families. You destroy homes. You have destroyed people's finances. So many people have been without a job. It's almost like it's a pandemic. And that pandemic is Donald J. Trump. Hit that like button as y'all coming in. Come on, hit that like button for me. Also, if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats. They are welcome, and I appreciate you. And in my description, there's my Venmo if you'd like to send me something and I can get it immediately. Because when you send it through super chat, we do not get our funds but once a month on the 21st. Also, my PayPal link is in the description as well. Again, this is Life Under Trump, part 132. Let's get it started. One moment, y'all. Just a moment. Donald Trump has went down in history as the worst president ever. That is not exaggerating. That is a fact. He is the worst president ever. He has a birthday coming up. I don't know if it's June the 14th or the 16th. But everybody plans on celebrating President Barack Obama by posting on their social media all the great things about President Barack Obama. Because I pray that in 2028, he will run against Trump. Because Trump don't stand a chance against that highly educated Barack Obama. Barack Obama pulled us out of recession when he came in what, 2008? He pulled the American people out of recession. And what is Donald Trump doing? He dragging us down to a recession. We are in a recession. We do not worship Putin. Donald Trump does. He is trying to make the American people bend and kiss the ring and bow down to him and Putin. We have never bowed down to Putin. But Donald Trump wants you to bow down and kiss his ring and bow down to Daddy Putin. And I refuse. Mm-mm-mm. Uh-oh, sorry, y'all. Hold on. I made second hit a video. I didn't want. That's of me cooking yesterday, so we ain't trying to see that. So we're going to watch this right quick, okay?
I mean, the number one issue for so many people, just about everybody, it's one of the main reasons that you're back in this office. And now we have this trade war with China that Moody's and other analysts say is going to cost American families thousands of more dollars.
It already has.
There's a lot of concern out there. People are worried. Even some people who voted for you saying, I didn't sign up for this.
Come on, Terry,
so
get to it.
how do you answer those concerns?
Watch what this fool says.
Actually, and this is what I campaigned on.
I'm going to tell you, he's right and he's wrong about that. I don't think people thought that's what they were signing up for because they thought it's not going to affect me. He's not going to do this to me. He means other people. He has been touting tariffs for years and he has been saying he's going to implement them. And they believed what he said, that tariffs were going to help us and that it was not a tax on the consumer or the business. That's what they believed. So yes, it is what you voted for. You may not have known that you were voting for it, but you effed around and now you're in the find out era.
The economy, the number one issue for so many people, just about everybody. It's one of the main reasons that you're back in this office. And now we have this trade war with China that Moody's and other analysts say is going to cost American families thousands of more dollars per year. And there is a lot of concern out there. People are worried. Even some people who voted for you saying, I didn't sign up for this.
Come on, Terry,
so
get to it.
how do you answer those concerns? Well, they did sign up for it, actually, and this is what I campaigned
But
on.
this is the thing what he did. And y'all fell for the banana tailpipe. He manipulated his words with MAGA. But we understood, the Dems. We knew exactly who Donald Trump is. We knew he was implementing Project 2025. But he lied in MAGA's face and told them that he knows nothing about Project 2025 when he actually did. His vice president did the forwarding in the book Project 2025. Donald Trump knows a lot. He's playing by that book. He played in your face, MAGA. That's what he did. And like he just said, that's what they voted for. So you voted for this mess. You thought it was just going to hurt black and brown people, but right now it got you on your knees. You don't have a job. One moment, please.
Much of it we don't need. You know, somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know? And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But We're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff, much of which, not all of it, but much of which we don't need. Much of it we don't need. You know, somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know? And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But
this man pretty much is telling y'all, I don't give a F. He pretty much is saying, F your needs, your wants, your kids. This buffoon does not care about the citizens of this country, as long as his alien vampire children are okay. So you saying, okay, what if, I don't care, they get less toys, the children. We got stuff coming in on no, we don't. No, we don't. He's lying to you again. Donald Trump is a compulsive liar. As soon as he moves those lips, you know he's going to lie.
So you can really not make this stuff up. Trump is not only blaming the contraction of the economy from the first quarter on Joe Biden, but he is also preemptively, in advance, blaming Joe Biden for what happens next quarter in the economy. I'm going to show you this video in just a second, but first, make sure that you're subscribed to the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Look at the stock market in this case, it says how bad the situation we inherited. I took place, this is the quarter that we looked at today, and we took all of us together. We came in on January 20th. So this is Biden, and you could even say the next quarter is sort of Biden because it doesn't just happen on a daily or an hourly basis.
So you can really not make this stuff up. Trump is not only blaming the contraction of the economy from the first quarter on Joe Biden, but he is also preemptively, in advance, blaming Joe Biden for what happens next quarter in the economy. I'm going to show you this video in just a second, but first, make sure that you're subscribed to the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Every time he F's up the preacher's money, he blames who? President Joe Biden. He blames him for the stock market crashing. He's blaming him for even the people in El Salvador, which is his doing. He's blaming him for President Joe Biden for the food prices, everything. You nincompoop, you are the one in the Oval Office. All of this is done under your watch. It's your doing. You signed the bills that are crappy bills. And some of the bills from when you was in that first time, these taxes, is on you. And how you going to take the next quarter and blame President Joe Biden when he's not in office? You're so disgusting with your low IQ.
Some extremely concerning breaking news right now. Reuters is reporting that 31 undocumented immigrants currently at the Blue Bonnet detention facility in Texas have joined up in a human chain to display SOS to a Reuters drone. This is the image captured by the drone. As you can see, there are about 30
This is sad. This is Donald Trump's doing. He blames President Joe Biden for this too.
Signaling SOS. This is obviously a cry for help. Now, these individuals were all notified that they will be sent to El Salvador because they are allegedly, according to the administration, Tren de Aragua members. Now, according to Reuters, a number of family members have said that their family members in these facilities are not gang members. There's no evidence that they are gang members. And yet
what has happened? These people are not gang members. Donald Trump decided to label them as gang members to taint who they are. They did the same thing that they're doing to the brown people. They did it and have been doing it to black people for many years. For many, many years, y'all would say black people are thugs. Black people are criminals. When you got the biggest criminal in the Oval Office, the biggest buffoon in the Oval Office, Donald Trump is the biggest criminal in the entire world. That fool has 34 felonies. There's nobody else with 34 felonies but Donald J. Trump. This ninja.
You only took credit for the stock market highs. You said it was a reflection of how well you were doing in the polls. And then after you were elected, you said the stock market highs were a reflection of how well the transition is going and the American people's confidence in your incoming administration. Now, the stock market's not doing so well, and you're saying that's the Biden stock market, yet you are the president. Can you explain that?
I'm not taking credit or
discredit for the stock market.
What a shameless little snake. He's not taking credit or discredit. Look at this. On January 29th of 2024, while Biden was the president, he said, "This is the Trump stock market because my polls against Biden are so good that investors are projecting that I'll win." He then said on April 30th of 2025, which is today, "This is Biden's stock market, not Trump's. I didn't take over until January 20th, but if you look at the S&P 500, you can draw a direct line between Trump taking office, announcing tariffs, and the market crashing. It's simple."
You frequently took credit for the stock market highs. You said it was a reflection.
Donald Trump, you are the biggest joke. You caused us, and your buddies got rich off the stock market crash. They were already filthy rich, but they got even richer, and people lost their 401ks because of you. One moment.
Holy smokes, 100 days. Donald Trump did tell you he was going to lower costs on day one. Well, I guess he's 0 for 100. But let's go through the top 10 worst hits in Donald Trump's first 100 days. Here we go. Number 10, approval ratings crash. Trump's approval rating is plummeting with Republicans so fast that they're starting to jump ship. Get this. 26% agree that Trump has gone beyond his authority as president. He's lost a quarter of Republicans. Number 9, government meltdown. Efficiency brought to you by Elon. Well, Doge finally made its first efficient firing, getting rid of Elon Musk. Number 8, an ethical dumpster fire. Presidency for profit. Next up, Trump coin. Because who doesn't want their democracy sponsored by a crypto bro? Between hawking merchandise at the White House and pocketing cash from Trump properties, the presidency looks less and less like public service and more like a Black Friday side hustle. Number 7, disappearing people and disappearing rights. The immigration system under Trump is a mess. It's cruel, it's chaotic. Let me just put this in perspective. Donald Trump deported a 4-year-old American citizen with cancer, stage 4 cancer. There's a special place in hell for somebody that fucks with a kid in their cancer treatment. Number 6, from DEI to DUI. Donald Trump is rolling back DEI and implementing DUI. And what has it gotten us? Our national security secrets are now on Signal, unclassified by Pete Hegseth. You may get a text soon. Number 5, science and education, defund the future. What do you think happens when you fire CDC scientists, cancer researchers, people who are working on preventing measles? Yeah, you're going to see people lose their treatments. You're going to see outbreaks like we're seeing with the measles outbreak in Texas. And families who are counting on a breakthrough innovation to make sure one of their loved ones can get well, they're losing hope. That's what you do when you bet against the future. Number 4, the peace that never happened. Donald Trump also said on day one he would end the conflict in Ukraine. And then 100 days later, he said it was in jest. Well, you know what's not in jest? The innocent Ukrainians who are dying. The American people who have been paying to help keep Ukraine in the fight so that a dictator like Vladimir Putin doesn't invade Europe and ultimately the United States. There's nothing funny about this. This is something that needs leadership. And Donald Trump is just not up for the job. He's always going to side with Russia. And whatever he does going forward will not surprise us because it's a pro-Putin foreign policy. Number 3, foreign policy flops. It's not foreign policy. It's a foreign apology. The number of foreign allies who I have had to apologize to in the last couple months is ridiculous. Foreign leaders come into my congressional office and they look at me and they're like, what the fuck? Like, we're friends. Why would you want to make us a state of the United States? Why would you want to invade us? Why would you walk away from treaty obligations that we have? We've gone shoulder to shoulder with so many of these allies that we're now just pushing us away. You know what makes us spend more on defense? Having fewer friends. Number 2, The Jail Your Enemies and Free Your Friends tour. Donald Trump is threatening to jail his enemies. In the Oval Office, he signed an executive order going after someone he appointed who declared that the 2020 election was the most secure election ever. Meanwhile, in your community today, there are 1,600 January 6th rioters, people who attacked police officers. They have been released into the community. This guy doesn't back the blue. He backs the coup. Number one, tariffs and inflation. At the end of the day, Americans asked in the last election for somebody to lower their costs. Donald Trump won, but he's lost the American people. Their 401ks are 201ks. Their costs are going up. 4 out of 5 of the items in their Walmart shopping basket were made overseas, and they're paying more, and they're going to pay more. We have gone from a Trump slump to a Trump train wreck. Holy smokes, 100.
Definitely a Trump's train wreck. And I was listening yesterday to something, and somebody, a clip person, was arguing with somebody about all the things that Donald Trump has done. They couldn't tell not one thing he has accomplished since he's been in office. But they still was themselves were putting it on President Joe Biden, just like Donald Trump. When you're in a cult, you can't think clearly. So that's why they believe in and repeating the things that Donald Trump is putting out there. Whether it makes them look foolish or not, they are repeating it. Instead of facts, MAGA love lies.
I'm calling them right now. They're gonna hate this. What? Hello, China. Yeah. Yes, hello, this is America. Yes, I know what you want. Yes, well, we don't think you've been fair to us. Not fair, yes. Mahjong. Right, so we are putting a 25% tariff on you. Okay, fine, we do same to you. What? What the hell? What? You don't hang up on America, so now it's 50%. Okay, ditto. Damn it! What now, 100? 100? No, 150. Okay, look, big boy, we can do this all day. Listen, you. No, you listen. We built the Great Wall of China, 13,000 miles of rock that you can drive on, okay? You don't want this fight because we invented gunpowder. In fact, we're now going to sell all your expensive stuff cheap. Birkin bag, $10. Louis Vuitton, $10. Jordan shoe, $10. Lululemon, $1. No, hold on. No, enjoy your recession. Make America grovel again.
And that's what Donald Trump is doing, causing the American people to grovel. All the big brands have been exposed because of Donald Trump. They're losing money too, and I'm actually glad that they are. It is time for us, the citizens, to have a better life, because all these brands have been charging us hundreds and thousands of dollars, which I do like designer stuff, but now I know the truth. I say F you to Hermes, Louis Vuitton, all of you. We, the American people, got to fight back, and we will not be accepting any more of this outrageous prices that they put on us. We're not going to accept these tariffs, because if you order anything right now, because the tariffs kicked in. This lady ordered something, and the tax is only $2 and something. Don't you know the tariff was $46? But that's who y'all voted in. That's who y'all voted in, and that's who they wanted, and that's what you got.
Sorry, people are worried. Even some people who voted for you.
Listen to this buffoon.
I didn't sign up for this. So how do you answer those concerns? Well, they did sign up for it, actually, and this is what I campaigned on. I said that we've been abused by other countries at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We were losing $3 to $5 billion a day on trade. Concern. People are worried, Even some people.
We're losing now, Donnie. We wasn't losing under President Joe Biden. Y'all like to call him Sleepy Joe? Do I need to show y'all the photos from Donald Trump at the Pope's funeral? He's sitting up there sleep, snoring. This man is old too. Trump is 80 and Biden is what, 82? Donald Trump is in worse health condition than President Joe Biden. Look at the two body builds. That's going to tell you a lot about a person's health. Trump has hearts, around his heart is so much fat, he's about to clunk out. And I'm like, God, take him. Please take him, Lord Jesus. Take those take him, God. Take him. He already eating hamburgers and hot dogs and everything that's going to take him up out of it. Just take him, Lord. Take him.
Canadians, many of them, are really angry, furious about your talk about we're going to take over. Canada's going to become the 51st state. And it kind of gives up a piece. A lot of travel is down into the United States from around the world. It feels like there's been reputational damage.
Canada's doing great. Well, prices are down.
He's such a liar.
Down, energy's down.
You're a lie. My electrical bill high as you know what.
Tourism is way up.
I know.
Now, Canada, ocean tourism's doing very well. We're doing very well.
No, we are not.
Many of them are really angry, furious about your.
Florida can tell you, nobody's coming as tourists right now. All the countries want nothing to do with us. Mexico has started sending some nuclear people back. Africa sending some nuclear people back. A lot of other countries are sending the American people back. And nobody wants to visit this country because they go through HELL because of Donald Trump. They want to take their phones and all this craziness that was never happening previously until this monster got in the White House. Now Donald Trump has destroyed our lives. I want to travel out of the country, but do you think I want to go through some BS because of Donald Trump? I deserve to go on vacation. You deserve to go on vacation, but what you do not deserve is to be harassed or can't come back in your own country.
Including terrorists, by the way. Now, but did we give them a hearing when they came in?
Well, the law requires that every single person who is going to be deported gets a hearing first.
Well,
you acknowledge that?
I'll have to ask the lawyers about that. All I can say is this. If
you're supposed to know, you are the man in the Oval Office.
Because they're criminals, we're going to have to act fast.
Trump, you're a criminal.
Do you think we can give 21 million trials? Let's say each trial takes 2 weeks. Is that what you want us to do?
The law
give
is
21
the law,
million?
sir. The law is the law.
No, the law doesn't say anything about trials.
No, not trials. Hearings.
These people came in. They're not citizens. They came in illegally. They came into our country illegally. We have to get them out.
There's a legal process for that.
I can't be sure, and we follow the legal process.
No, you did not, Donald.
I can't have a trial, a major trial for every person that came in illegally. We here, including terrorists, by the way. Now, but did we give them a hearing when they came in?
Well, the law requires that every single person who is going to be deported gets a hearing first.
Well,
you acknowledge that?
I'll have to ask the lawyers about that. All I can.
Help us, Jesus. Help us, Jesus.
A member of a gang, and then
there you go, lying some more, y'all.
He had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute.
I'm gonna show y'all the photo, okay?
He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
Trump do not like to be corrected. This is part of his narcissistic behavior.
So let me.
That was Photoshop, Terry. You had that.
It's the truth, Trump. You piece of
Donald
Donald Trump is disgusting.
I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry.
Then he insults the reporter, the news reporter.
Terry, on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
I'm going to show y'all the picture. It has been that's photoshopped.
Well, here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them.
And Trump has a tramp stamp on the back of his butt bone.
He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador,
It's fake news if you tell the truth about Donald Trump.
They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't there, but they're there now, right?
No,
but they're
in
there
New
Ukraine, sir. He's got MS-13 on his knuckles. All right.
He's angry. Nobody believes his lies.
It's such a disservice. We'll take a look at that. Why don't you just say yes, he does?
No, because he's not gonna lie for you, trash box.
He wasn't a member of a gang. And then they look, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
Y'all, I'm gonna show y'all a clear photo of this mess Donald Trump talking about. And this is what y'all did to black people back in slavery too. Y'all put the tattoos on their faces and everything else. You continue to lie, and MAGA believes everything this maggot for in the Oval Office. I would never call him president. This man is beyond disgusting. He is okay with his lies. That man is not a part of MS-13. That has been photoshopped onto his hands. And I'm going to show y'all the photo. So, Donnie boy, I can't wait till God get a hold of your ass and your children. Because when God get through with you, you will never be able to stand. You think you're pooping and peeing on yourself? It's going to be worse than that. You need to be put on a plane and sent to El Salvador yourself, Donald Trump. You are the criminal. You have the 34 felonies. You are a disgusting human being. You are a piece of waste that should be flushed down the commode. I'm going to show y'all this photo. That man does not have MS-13 on his knuckles. But what needs to happen, somebody needs to put their knuckles across somebody's face. That's how I feel. The orange, punch an orange. That's what you do. Let me find that photo. This has really set me off that they continue to lie and treat American citizens like we don't know the truth. I'm tired of all the lies that clear people put out and Donald Trump continue to put out. It's not true. Look at this. You can tell that's photoshopped onto this man's hand. That is not real. And whoever photoshopped that to help these creatures destroy other people because they're brown, you need to be locked up. Black and brown people are tired of the lies. What y'all did to blacks when they was in slavery, you're still doing the same SHIT. Y'all would say we criminals. Y'all would call black people thugs. The biggest thug is in the White House. His entire administration of thugs. Wait a minute, that ain't loud enough. I'm gonna go back to the original video. But anyway, yeah, I'm heated. I'm really heated because I'm tired of all these lies that have been told to us citizens. When the truth is gonna come out, when they gonna finally tell the truth. Donald Trump can't handle the truth. He get mad at the guy interviewing him for telling the truth. He wants the guy to say, just say yes. No, hell to the no. There is no yes coming out of his mouth because that man refused to be a liar. He refused to be a compulsive liar like you, Donald Trump.
100 days of just crap. We've got 500 plus till the midterms, but the work has started. Folks know that, and I think they're looking to see folks stand in the breach and push back. It's 100 days of just crap. We've got 500 plus till the midterms, but the work has started. Folks know that, and I think they're looking to see folks stand in the breach and push back.
I agree with you, Mr. Tim Walls, because it's 100 days of just crap. No deals have been done. Just thievery in the White House, manipulation, stealing during the stock market crash. And Donald Trump continues to poop and piss on himself. One moment, please.
Yeah, we were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there. And I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to come over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him. Why? because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. At every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like European standard, like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the U.S. and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil, and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous, and it's wrong. It's like Libya. We were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that...
This country is what this man is saying, and this stuff continues. It's been going on a long time, and it's not the doing of Black people. This is the doing of the clear people. Y'all are so upset and so afraid that Black people are going to be more powerful than you that you're willing to knock off people that haven't done anything to you. That man wanted to help Africa. But then you thought about, we can't get that gold. We can't get that oil. We can't get all those minerals and all those beautiful gems that we don't have in the USA. So you get rid of somebody that want to help the Blacks. And it's been happening a long time. But the American sins is catching up. And what God has done, and let us see who the clear people really are through Donald Trump, because they are who he is. Some of them are decent. But if they had to choose a side when it all gets bad, they would choose his side because that's their race. Gaddafi wasn't what they told us. He wanted to help Africa and to keep our minerals in Africa instead of people coming and stealing everything. And that's what the new, I think his name is Tordo, is doing right now. The young Black president over there in Africa. Donald Trump is who America is. I said it, and it's a fact. That monster was created because his ancestors who were clear like him. If you want America to be a better place, then you got to be a better place, clear people. Y'all voted this monster in, then you sit back and you're crying because you're out of jobs and you can't buy food. You lost your food stamps. Learn to survive, because Black people, we know how to survive. In this storm, we are surviving. While y'all on social media crying. Hit that like button. With Donald Trump, this is a race war, and this is a war of the poor and the rich, because he has taken out the middle class. Be honest with yourself. He has taken out the middle class. The middle class doesn't exist anymore.
Tear down the pillars. The American Bar Association is standing up to Donald Trump's lawlessness. And we're going to take out Donald's main prop. Pam Bondi, we're coming for you. We've already sent over 1,000 letters demanding Pam Bondi's disbarment. But we got to make it to 1 million, so here's what you're going to do. First, you're going to smash every single button, and then you're going to leave a comment of 7 words or more. Then you're going to go to danfamily.cc to get a letter template, an address, and Pam's bar number. Send 5 copies, get 5 friends to send 5 copies. We're going to clog up the system. We're going to send 1 million letters, and they cannot ignore us because she's supposed to be representing all of us now. Then come back on here and make your own video telling people to go to danfamily.cc to do all the same things. Take down the pillars, take out the regime.
Amen. You take down the pillars, Bundy. You take down the regime. Donald J. Trump. We're going to fight back, and y'all not going to be lazy. You in my chat, you're going to help fight back. We got to fight back. Excuse me.
See, individuals like Cliff here.
Hold on, I'm going to take a sip of water. My allergies bother me. Hold on.
See, individuals like Cliff here, my uneducated person, of racial depths of the South. He verified that they don't know and understand, they can't comprehend down there with these Confederate flags. These Confederate flag people are ignorant. He says some stupid stuff like this. President Trump has officially warned Barack Obama to stay out of American affairs or else face charges for violating the hijack. This is after Obama made plans to visit El Salvador on his way to the middle in Costa Rica, which Trump was not invited, nor would go. Well, there's neither here or there, whatever. He has no authority to speak on behalf of the United States. If Obama was brave enough, he would go and face U.S. Marshal on his return. I know you wish. First of all, the Hitch Act doesn't apply to. First of all, it was introduced in 1939 by Congress. That's Title V, and it's only for federal employees. This is covered by federal employees. Obama is not a federal employee. So if you would actually study in school and listen to the Constitution class back in social studies and stuff like that, and U.S. history and all that, you actually know this and study this and understood this when you heard this and knew for yourself that this was an ignorant comment. And it showed your lack of intelligence in the research. Because as you see, there's only covers federal employees, people of DC, and only part-time employees. So it has nothing to do with Obama, because the last time I checked, Obama won 2 terms and stuff. That office looking real good, better than Trump ever could be in his life. So now, this rumor that you put on here was a rumor that Trump threatened Obama with the hijack originally started on social media. So this is not true. So you are so gullible, which I should not be surprised, because you are Trump supporters, and all Trump supporters are gullible and fools. They like sheep to slaughter. They just follow the trend. Like, really, they're not educated enough to see through the.
I think President Obama should go to El Salvador. And Donald Trump, you're just mad because you are so afraid that President Obama is going to run against you in 2028. But I hope and prayers your ass is out of there before 2028. We want you gone like yesterday. I don't care any means necessary. Get the fuck out that White House.
ICE just raided a house in Oklahoma and stole the family's life savings. They dragged the family out of the house so fast that one of the little girls was dragged out into the rain in her underwear. Did they care that the people who lived in the house were American citizens? Not in the least. Did ICE care that the family living in the house were not the people named on the warrant that allowed them to raid the house? Not even a little. So there you have it, federal agents causing real harm to American citizens with no due process. Where are all the conservative advocates for individual responsibility now, huh? Those fake cops did bad things. They should have bad things happen back to them now, right?
Hurting children, stealing money, kidnapping, hostage. That's what the Republican MAGA Party is about.
Hey. You remember when I said that Jack Smith was back in The Hague a couple of days ago? Venezuela just filed a complaint with the ICC, located in The Hague. That man is no dummy and will go down as one of the most intelligent human beings of our time. Now, why is this important? Because the US is not a member of the ICC, which is correct. However, both Venezuela and El Salvador are members of the ICC, which means their complaints get taken very seriously. Now, with that said, the US and the Orange Lunatic kind of screwed the pooch on this one, because when he invoked the Alien Enemies Act, he made this a wartime. The ICC has jurisdiction over wartime crimes because the Alien Enemies Act was a wartime act. Now, It is also worth noting that because we made a transaction with El Salvador to use the terrible, awful prison, we are now conducting business with El Salvador, which does give the ICC jurisdiction. I absolutely know beyond the shadow of a doubt that this has been the longest years of the first months of a year that we have ever lived through. But I just need you to hold the light a little while longer. This is all coming down around them. I can feel it. The spiritual community can feel it. Just hold the light. Okay? Manifest as much positivity into the universe as you can. This has been in the works for a long time. I can feel that.
Hold the light, y'all. That's some positivity. So we now know that Jack Smith is still working on some things. Because we got to get Donald Trump out of there. We got to get him out of there this year. I don't care what they do with him. He don't care about the American people. I don't care about him. He doesn't care if you got food on your table. So why should you care about him? He doesn't care if your loved ones, your children, grandchildren will have food for lunch when school is in. He doesn't care. I don't care about him.
This is the video that the President of the United States just posted and showed to the crowd at his 100-day celebration. Watch.
This is effed up. I'm not going to show that whole thing because that music playing. So you celebrate your 100 days in the office by showing what you're doing to abuse brown people. Black people, pay attention. Pay attention, because they not just have deported, hostage, kidnapped just brown people, Haitians and Nigerian people as well. Yes, they have. Pay attention, black people. Pay the fuck attention.
Welcome to the first 100 days of Donald Trump's failed attempt to remake American society, which has been an absolute and total unmitigated disaster. And I'll build on what was said just a moment ago. Not only was this how to destroy the world's greatest economy in 100 days, I will say it was how to destroy the world's greatest democracy, its economy, and its world standing in 100 days, because that is exactly what Donald Trump has done over the last 3.5 months. Now, let's make something very clear. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Doge, these billionaires who are serving in the cabinet around him are not here to make American life better. They are here to steal from us. They are here to remake American society in their image, and they are here to take over our government and dismantle it from within. Over the last 100 days, they have literally fired tens of thousands of Americans. They have signed hundreds of executive orders and taken hundreds of executive actions, resulting in mass firings, dismantling of agencies, data mining of your sensitive data, hurting real Americans, teachers, firefighters, veterans, and all along the way, they've been self-dealing, giving themselves contracts. Elon Musk taking off with literally billions of dollars in his pocket in new contracts. Now, is it any question that any of this is historically unpopular with the American people? In fact, the polling as of this week shows that almost 2/3 of Americans believe that they are doing a terrible job, whether that's Elon Musk and immigration. The American people are speaking loud and clear. They do not want what Donald Trump is serving. So I am here to join the American people in saying enough is enough, enough with the lies, enough with the secrecy, enough with the grift, fraud, waste, and abuse. Hands off our Social Security, hands off our veterans, hands off our communities, hands off our Medicaid, hands off the vital housing and food assistance programs that our communities depend on, and hands off our environment. We will not stand for this. As progressives, as the Progressive Caucus, we call on the American people to join us to continue to speak up, speak out, keep marching, keep showing up, keep calling Republican offices, keep organizing, because we will take back our democracy, because we will make sure that our colleagues across the aisle stand up and are held accountable, and we will take back this House in the midterms and restore the sanity and democracy of this country.
The democracy of this country is in shambles. The democracy of this country right now is like a shithole country. And that's your words, Donald Trump. You love to say shithole country. Then what do you think you cause this country to be a shithole country, Donald Trump? One moment. I'm going to show y'all this and we're going to get up out of here. This is where I am right now. And this is what all the American people need to feel. Impeach Trump. Everything I have showed y'all today is fair use, educational purpose, and great for research. Everything I showed y'all proves why this man needs to be impeached. I know a lot of y'all thinking it's impossible. No, it's not. Nothing is impossible. I believe in the possible. Nothing is impossible. Keep y'all faith. Let's get him out of that White House. Impeach Trump 2025. I love y'all. Have an amazing evening and God bless.